Alright, so if Pixar is going to be giving Buzz these major motion picture deals, then y'all gotta hook my man up with a theme song. Woody has Woody's Roundup, and that's an absolute banger. I don't remember what the theme song was from Buzz Lightyear's animated series, but look, if we're going to go this far with the character, you guys gotta give my man a theme song. He needs a real catchy, maybe a little quick 20 second theme song just to make his presence known. It's Buzz Lightyear, for crying out loud, guys. Just give him a theme song. Just help us out a little bit just with that part. But anyway, Lightyear. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for Lightyear, starring Chris Evans, Keke Palmer, Taika Waititi, and James Brolin, and it was directed by Angus MacLane. So our plot follows Lightyear, or Chris Evans. I'm going to go back and forth between those names. It's going to take me a second to get used to that. But our plot follows our beloved Space Ranger, who essentially we are following what the movie that was based off or the movie that inspired the toy. So essentially this movie is the reason that Andy wanted the Buzz Lightyear in the first place. And it basically follows our beloved Space Ranger being marooned on the planet with his space team. They essentially need to find a way to get off the planet, but every time Buzz goes on this mission, he's basically speeding through time, and people on this planet are just getting older. So he's essentially missing out on like everything, because every time he comes back, at least like 4 to 6 years have passed, and he's just staying the same age, and they're just all getting older. So at some point it gets to the point where he's gone way too many times. The mission is basically looking like it's failed, and now he is marooned on this planet where he has no idea what to do with himself, and essentially he does have to fight off Emperor Zurg. Now, that is the best way I'm going to describe the plot, just because there are some technical things that do happen that essentially I feel like would be going into spoiler territory, because there's a lot that I felt like, was introduced to me that wasn't in the trailer, so I'm just going to leave the rest as a surprise. But that is the best way I'm going to describe the plot. Now I'm going to get on to what I liked about the movie. So to start off with what I liked about the movie, look, I'm going to start with Chris Evans. Look, he did a phenomenal job as Buzz Lightyear. I really didn't know, look, Chris Evans is a great actor. So honestly, he has this thing where no matter what character he's playing, he's going to bring that Chris Evans charm to it, and it's probably going to win us over no matter what. But he did a very good job as Buzz Lightyear. For a voice acting job, you could hear the passion in Chris Evans' voice as he's playing this character. He captures every characteristic of Buzz, every single dedicated personality trait that Buzz has. Like, he captures it to a T. There's a lot of callbacks to the original lines that the toy said in Toy Story. There's so much in this movie that Chris Evans really does to make Buzz Lightyear just feel like a very separate variation from the Tim Allen Buzz we've been so used to. Like, it's not necessarily, like, they're not acting completely different. He's capturing all the same charismatic things that Tim Allen did as Buzz Lightyear, but he's doing it in his own way. He's not really trying to be a replica of that Buzz. He's trying to be the movie version of that Buzz, and he's doing a great job. First of all, this movie is a lot of fun. It's just a big Pixar adventure. That's the best way to describe it. I think the entire cast is a lot of fun. I think the plot is honestly very good for a movie that I really didn't think we needed, to be honest. Look, a lot of these legacy sequels, or whatever they're calling, I don't think this is a legacy sequel in a sense, but this is kind of like a movie that I'm going to put in the same category as Top Gun, where it's like, do we really need this kind of movie? But once we saw it, I'm like, yeah, this was great. I had a lot of fun with this movie, and Chris Evans just brings so much passion and so much heart to this role. And honestly, it's great to see this version of Buzz Lightyear, because of course we've seen the toy version of him grow from finding out that he's not a toy and, being hit with that kind of reality. In this one here, he's the exact same way. He's just more dedicated to finishing the mission. Like, that's the only thing that's more important to him in the entire world. Just finishing the mission, being a space ranger, being able to protect the entire universe. Like, he lays his life on the line for that suit. And that's the same Buzz we got in the Toy Story movies. But this time we just get to see a more, I guess, fleshed out Buzz character, because he's not a toy, he's an actual human being in this one, so we just get to see the character a little fleshed out a little more. And I just thought that really expanded not only the idea of what we thought or who we thought Buzz was before, this movie came out, but it just expands on the idea of that, this character is so much more than just a toy. And of course, like, we know that because this character was based off, it's a toy, so it's based off something, but we just know that Chris Evans just does everything in his power to make this role his. He tries to own it in his own way, and he just does a phenomenal job. Like, I can't praise Chris Evans enough. Like, you can, like I said, it's voice acting, so you can hear when a character is actually giving their all. And Chris Evans is trying to inspire kids the way Andy was inspired in that theater. Like, that was his goal in this theater, or in this role as Buzz Lightyear. His goal was to inspire kids the same way that Andy got inspired all those years ago. And honestly, he inspired me. I was ready to buy a Buzz Lightyear toy. Buzz Lightyear was like one of the coolest toys to me as a kid. I wanted one so badly. Once I had one, it was a red suit. I was kind of upset about that, but I just sucked it up anyway. I wanted the green suit so badly, but it's okay. I gotta thank my mom for it anyway. Another thing I really loved about this movie, it was surprisingly hilarious. Like, Pixar movies normally have that comedic relief, or they have like funny moments because it's a kid's movie, it's supposed to make you laugh. But this movie actually had a lot of like laugh out loud moments. Like, I was actually like dying in my chair. Like, I was like, it was a big mix of people in my theater. It was like, you know, parents with their kids. There was some old couples in there. Everybody loves Toy Story, I guess. It was me and my friends, we were in the theater. So it was a good group of like mixed people, and everybody was just having different reactions to what was going on screen. I was laughing louder than most of the kids in the theater. Like, I was having a great time with this movie. Like, Taika Waititi, I just gotta say, he was the standout of this entire cast. Once his character came on screen, like, he made me laugh from beginning to end. Like his character just had so much heart. It was very inspiring to see a character like that just on screen, just because it's somebody that he thinks that, like, Taika Waititi character thinks of himself as like really weak and things like that. So it's good to see characters like that on screen, because, you know, essentially we can kind of see reflections of ourselves in characters like that sometimes. But he was just very charming. He was obviously the standout of this whole movie. Like, I enjoyed honestly, this entire cast. A lot of these characters did very good, including Keke Palmer. I thought she was a big standout as well. I just had to shout out Taika Waititi because he does phenomenal in whatever he does. He's just very charming. He brings that comedic relief that is always needed. Like, it never feels like it's forced or out of the way, or essentially we don't need it right now. He always is on time with his comedic timing, and I'm very appreciative for it, because I just thought it was phenomenal. I thought he did a really good job in the movie. Now, when it comes to kids movies, see, I don't really like to be too harsh on kids movies, just because it's like it's deemed for kids. Now, Pixar, I kind of got to give a little nudge to, or essentially an exemption to, just because Pixar, they've been here before. They know what type of movies they're supposed to be making. They're supposed to be like the top tier of animated studios, so I'm going to be a little critical of this. Granted, I'm not going to go into like big details of it, just because it's spoiler territory. I don't want people to know essentially what they did with this character. I'm on the fence about what they did with Zurg. I'm not necessarily going to say I didn't like it, because I thought it was a very creative choice and a very creative decision about, you know, what they did with the character. I thought it was I thought they could have went another direction with Zurg. I thought he could have been something else, and I'm sorry, I really can't go into detail on that, just because this is not a spoiler. This is not a spoiler review. I'm just going to be talking non-spoiler stuff, so I'm just going to describe it as best as I can. I just thought that Zurg could have been handled a different way. Like, I thought the route they went was actually pretty intriguing. I thought it was different. I thought to myself, that's not bad. That's not a bad idea. I just thought it could have been done a little better. Like, the thing about Pixar's formula is they're always going to give you phenomenal main castings, like the main cast or like the side characters. They give you really good versions of those. When it comes to the Pixar villains, they don't always put their best into them. I thought that they gave Zurg maybe just a little bit of underwhelmingness in this movie. Like he just was a little underwhelming. I felt like he could have had more of a presence, because this is Emperor Zurg. Like, him and Buzz have a pretty like Celtics-Lakers type rivalry. Like, it's pretty big. So I was hoping they do a little more with Zurg in this movie, but I'm not mad at the direction they went in. I just thought it could have been done a little differently. Thought it could have been done a little better. Like, that's just me really nitpicking. I was honestly surprised. Like, James Brolin plays Emperor Zurg in this movie, and he actually does a very good job. He's actually a pretty menacing villain. Like, the character himself is an actual menacing person, and it's actually pretty good to see this, you know, character fleshed out on screen. But it's like, I really just felt like his motivations, or essentially like his just like whatever was motivating him to do what he was doing, I felt like could have been different, or it could have been like something else, or they could have just, like I said, I can't really go into too much detail because it would definitely be getting into spoiler territory. I just thought Zurg could have been handled a little bit differently. I'm not too mad at it. It's really not that big of a deal. It's not really it doesn't ruin the movie for me at all, honestly. It just makes me think like what this movie could have been if they would have went in the direction I was personally thinking. I'm always going to think I know best. I do apologize. I'm the guy in the chair. I have to think that, guys. I need to think that for you. I got to think I know everything just so I can tell you what it is like it is. I hope that made sense. I don't think it did. So overall, guys, look, Lightyear is a lot of fun at the movies. I think Chris Evans is doing a phenomenal job of not only just portraying beloved characters that, you know, we just grew up with, but he's just doing a great job at cementing himself as one of the best actors in Hollywood today. I really think that, you know, when it's all said and done, Chris Evans' career should really be looked over. And it's really hard to determine a top 10, but I feel like Chris Evans, like, really should not be looked over for these performances that he's been doing of recent, especially with his Captain America performances. Like the last like 3 Captain performances he's done as Captain America, absolutely phenomenal. But his portrayal as Buzz Lightyear here, like I really saw the heart. I saw everything on screen that I wanted to from this character, from Chris Evans giving us this character, bringing him to life for the first time on screen. I felt like Andy, like when the movie starts, it literally says in 1995, a kid named Andy, you know, saw a movie and ended up getting a toy, which was Buzz Lightyear. This was that movie. Like, I felt all of that. Like, they really stuck to that. They really made it inspiring. They really pushed everything they wanted to for this Buzz Lightyear movie, for this narrative, to make him the Space Ranger we all know and love. Like, I just enjoyed every part. I just enjoyed this movie a lot. I can't say every part of it because I had some nitpicking things, and I don't really like that part about myself sometimes, man. It's just I'm a critic at the end of the day. I gotta nitpick when I need to. But overall, it's a lot of fun. It's a really good movie. It's a really great time at the movie. It's funny. It's for everyone. You can bring all your entire family. It does not matter. It's for all ages. I think everybody can get something out of this movie. Also, I want to shout out the intro to this movie because they were on like Terminator 2 type vibes. Like, they were trying to make this thing intense. Like, I really got to give Pixar the credit for trying to make this a real intense movie. The intro was incredible. And for all those reasons and so many more, guys, I'm going to give Lightyear a 4 out of 5 stars. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Look, Lightyear, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Honestly, what's your favorite Pixar movie? Let's get a comment. Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down there. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Guys, thank you so much for watching again. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.